Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the GFS, the GM, the ECMWF, the GFS and ECMWF ensembles, and we'll finish up having a look at the UK Met Office 5-day precipitation and temperature. Now, we do have high pressure building in over the next couple of days, and it's going to be pretty chilly indeed over the next sort of 2 to 5 days. Beyond that, it is very, very uncertain with the air masses, but we'll still be firmly under high pressure, so even if those cold air masses don't make it our way, it's likely to be chilly and frosty, but at least just like precipitation will be reducing for the next sort of 5 days or so as high pressure does build in, which will be pretty decent. So remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure to like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. So you have a look at the GFS, you can see we do have high pressure building up to our north and our east at the moment, and you do have a bit of low pressure over the top of the UK, but it's going to be pushed away over the course of the weekend, and we go into a pretty chilly continental air mass with a bit of an easterly flow. Now, beyond that, high pressure does continue to build, and you can see that really cold air is just to our east, not quite making it on this latest GFS, but we're still under the high pressure, so we're reasonably dry in the east. For the westwards, though, where the fronts could be pushing in, introducing some precipitation, and you can see generally high pressure is still in control, bringing in easterly flow. So it's going to be pretty settled. It's not going to be particularly mild, and it's going to be chilly, but it's not going to be bitterly cold without those cold upper air temperatures. And in the longer term, we just stay really under high pressure, a massive area of high pressure dominating our weather, bringing in a slack southeasterly flow, which is still chilly this time of year, but it's nothing crazy cold. But yeah, just looking very settled really, especially further eastwards and northwards. Further westwards definitely has a decent chance of seeing some weather fronts trying to push in, but they're always going to struggle up against the high pressure block, and it will be very much uncertain on what happens with that. So we do now have a look at the latest from the GEM run, see how that does compare. Again, you can see high pressure building over the top and to the north. We do try to pull in easterly winds, a fight between low pressure in the Atlantic, high pressure out in Scandinavia. You can see bitterly cold air going through southeast Europe, not quite making it to the UK. You can see where these weather fronts are across western parts, it could be a lot of precipitation. Further eastwards, less so. And you can see eventually towards the end of the run, we still have this big high pressure system dominating, but we are trying to push in westerly winds. So it is very uncertain what's going to win out. It does still look chilly with high pressure inversion, potentially a lot of frosts around, but as I said, with weather fronts bumping into that colder air, it's going to be stalling, and we could even see a bit of winteriness over higher ground. But again, it all depends on the dew points and upper air temperatures. If we do now have a look at the ECMWF run, see how that does compare. Again, you can see high pressure building over the top and to our north, over the top to the north and the northeast, and you can see we are trying to build in an easterly wind, not quite getting that bitterly cold air towards the UK, but keeping us reasonably chilly under the high pressure, and low pressure just generally moving away to our south. But still under high pressure influence with this big blocking high pressure system, keeping things reasonably settled further eastwards you go, but it is going to depend on the finer details very much. But yeah, interesting to see all the runs showing high pressure dominating to our north and our east, all having slightly different outcomes, but none now are really showing that bitterly cold easterly wind that has moved away out of the model output over the last day. Unfortunately, for those looking forward to an easterly wind, it has come out of the output, but it's still going to be chilly and cold, below average conditions, and we're going to be seeing some drier weather, which I think a lot of people will quite enjoy. Further westwards, though, I must emphasise, if we do see the right setup, there could be a lot of rain around with weather fronts stalling, so we'll have to look at those finer details nearer the time of the event. Now, if we do have a look at the ensembles, have a look at London, you can see temperatures dropping considerably over the next couple of days, down to minus 5 at 850 HPA. And then we see a rise, and we were originally seeing potentially a fall, but very few are going for that fall now, only maybe 3 or 4. Majority staying around or slightly below average, so temperatures around or slightly below average. Precipitation signal is decreased all the way for the next week or so, for it does pick up throughout the middle third of March, potentially turning things a little bit more unsettled with those weather fronts bumping into the high pressure block, reducing in strength, i.e. that precipitation decreasing, but still could produce some rainfall in a few spots, but generally temperatures still around average. Now if we have a look at the ECMWF ensembles, now you can see, if we go back to the midnight run, which has fully come out, you can see generally colder over the next few days, down to -5 to -10 degrees at NUFTHPA, depending on the exact run, of course, but it's going to be cold. Beyond that, temperatures rise to around average. A couple still go very much down to -10 at NUFTHPA, bringing out that bitterly cold easterly wind, but I don't think that's got a lot of support anymore. Most of the models have flipped, and most of the Ensemble members have flipped to a more average sort of run. And you can generally see temperatures in and around average looking pretty decent. Precipitation again picking up in around the 10th to 12th of March, turning things potentially more unsettled with those weather fronts bumping in. And we'll have a look at that in a bit more detail with the UK Met Office run, seeing if we have any of that happening over the next 5 days. Again, there's no real point looking at it in too far ahead because these things can change very quickly. Positioning can make a drastic difference between type of precipitation, whether it's rain or snow, and the amount and intensity of the precipitation. So we'll only really look over the next 5 days really with it, looking at those precipitation charts. So you do now have a look at the UK Met Office run, have a look at precipitation temperature. Now you can see the weather front that we have had lingering over the top of the UK is moving away to our east now, disintegrating its dust, but still could be some patchy rain over the course of this evening into tomorrow morning. Then we see the winds veer in from the east, much colder air mass. You can see those clouds spiralling in from the east, bringing in a few showers across the Midlands through Sunday, and some patchy cloud, but nothing too major. And quite a sunny day through Tuesday, before we start to see potentially some weather fronts approaching from the southwest. So you can see the next 5 days look reasonably dry. Some showers around, but it does look pretty decent and pretty dry, really. Nothing too crazily bad. Now if we have a look at the max temperatures, you see today it wasn't too bad, 8 to 10 degrees, but cold under the rain and the cloud. Tonight, temperatures dropping away below freezing for many northern and western areas. And by tomorrow afternoon, pretty chilly, 5 to 7 degrees, especially further eastwards, maybe 8 or 9 further westwards, as we are starting to pull in an easterly flow. Through tomorrow evening into Sunday, widely temperatures dropping down into the low single digits, and by Sunday afternoon we're seeing temperatures really only around 6 or 7 degrees, a couple degrees colder than average as we are putting in colder air masses. Through Sunday evening into Monday, widespread frost really across England, Wales and Scotland. Areas with minimal cloud will keep those temperatures up, but generally most areas getting down to freezing for early hours of Monday, so pretty cold there. And Monday afternoon, widely still 5 to 8 degrees, still chilly, or on the colder side of average. And then Tuesday morning, we're going to see another widespread frost, and Tuesday of the day, 6 to 8 degrees, maybe a touch milder, and then another widespread frost further northwards through Wednesday, but we have approaching weather fronts from the southwest, and you can see by Wednesday afternoon, temperatures are on the rise, 10 to 12 degrees as mild air is pushing in. So it is looking very interesting over the next week. Things are settling down. It's going to be cold initially, then it's going to be turning a little bit milder. But for the time being, nothing too exciting is coming. Generally just a few frosts over the next 5 days. Beyond that though, we could potentially be looking at more rain events and potentially some snow mixing in if we do see some of those cold air masses clash with the weather fronts. But that's something for the next couple of weeks, nothing in the immediate future. So anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.